Step in the ring, feel the adrenaline rush, throwing fists and kicks, the pain we can't hush. And then they fight us, we're the real tough guys, breaking down barriers, we aim for the skies. Into the octagon, like a warrior I stand, slaying blows, taking hits as I command. The art of combat, I'm ready to go. Submission, knockout, that's how I flow. Unleashing the fury like an untamed beast, locked in a cage where strength is released. Striking precision, grappling with my golden octagon. The stage we ignite. Unleashing the fury like an untamed beast, locked in a cage where strength is released. Striking precision, grappling like a golden octagon. The stage we ignite.
And we are live. Welcome to the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast with your hosts, Matt and D. Rose.
And what's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast. My name is Matt. D. Rose is on that side of your screen. We appreciate you guys for stopping by, hanging out with us over here tonight, talking about some UFC fights for the most part. What we got going on today after we pretty much talked to the chat and me and D. Rose chat for a few minutes. We are going to talk about this past weekend's UFC 98 Vegas recap. UFC Vegas 98 recap. Yeah. And then, we'll give you our thoughts and opinions on this past weekend's card. And then, unfortunately, I have to be eating some beans this week, but it's just two. I didn't get clean sweep, so that's good. But me and D-Rose have been kind of passing it back and forth week to week over here. Like, we can't really get a streak going, but I'm going to be eating some Bean Boozled tonight, unfortunately. We're going to be talking about
pretty consistently. The last 2 months have been pretty much like us just going back and forth week to week. Like we can't get comfortable because as soon as I hit 1 week and I'm like, I'm feeling good. I get a clean sweep, then I get a clean sweep the very next week. So it's ups and downs with that game.
Yeah, it's tough, dude. It's tough. But after that, with a terrible taste in my mouth, we will be going over the UFC news and fight announcements, and we do got a little bit to talk about this week. Not too much, but some pretty big news. And then lastly, we'll go over our picks and predictions for our preview picks and predictions for this upcoming weekend's fights in Las Vegas at the Apex UFC Fight Night Vegas 99. Anthony Fluffy Hernandez taking on Michel Demolador Pereira. It should be a fun main event, at least this weekend. The rest of the card, not the best card in the world, but it's okay. It's okay, though. But before we get started, D-Rose, let's shout out the chat real quick. We got Austin in here with a what's up. What's going on, Austin? Appreciate you stopping by tonight,
what up?
guy. Let's go ahead and do his full screen there. We got Demolador Fight Week LFG. I agree. I do love me some Demolador. We got Daniel Aker in here with the LFG. We got Dixon Sider on in here. Bro, when are they going to come out with the cards of UFC female fighters feet? That's what I'm waiting to get into the game. Hey, I do want to let you know, Dixon, that I did hear that a few of the patches that are in the card, they are scratch and sniff. So if you scratch it just a little bit, you might be able to get a little bit of a smell of ass from like Mackenzie Dern. So, just look for one of those Mackenzie Dern cards. Shout out Dixon, because every time I see his name, I just like remember of this song. It was like back on like YouTube many years ago. I don't even know if I could find it, but it was about a cider that was produced in or like by the Dixon Family, and it was a song called Dixon Cider. And when you just say it, it's hilarious when you think about it for just a moment. I need Alexa Grasso's ASAP. We got Antoine Willis in here. Yo, what's up, boys? What's going on, Antoine? Appreciate you stopping by tonight. He got Riley with the kiki. Yeah, saw that Corey McKenna got cut. I didn't personally see that. That's interesting. But I mean,
I didn't say,
not
but
too
not
surprising. Yeah, I agree. And we got Sugar Sharp here with the A. Dixon feed flavored meats. Smash the like button. I appreciate it, Dixon.
If they're Aileen Perez feet flavored, he's probably going to enjoy them.
And we got to say, what's up, boys? What's up? What's going on, dude? All right. So, with that being said, let's get into the show, D-Rose. How have you been over the past week or so, my guy?
No, things have been good over here. Just the same old as far as just, working and obviously, just taking care of the family and everything. But as far as betting wise, I didn't go too heavy on UFC this weekend. I just kind of, I had a few pockets here or there. I think I did just 2 parlays. Didn't go too crazy. I ended up hitting one thanks to Jung Young. Well, I did 3, 1 missed, and I had Jung Young Park in there, my last leg by third round or decision, and I just couldn't miss that. It was like plus 110, and I just couldn't miss that. So I had to make a quick parlay, and once it had lost earlier in the fight, but yeah, I'd Jung Young Park saved me this weekend in terms of betting, so I couldn't be too mad there. And man, I thought it was a pretty good fight card overall too. So I know we'll talk about it, but man, Roy Ball's just that dog, man. You just can't kill him, but we'll get into it.
Yeah, man. Me betting wise, personally, awful, dude. I started off the night, dude, with Clayton Carpenter, second round sub, and I had him sub 2 or 3 in a few parlays, and I had him by finish like in a few parlays. So I was like rubbing my hands together. I was like, tonight's gonna be a good night. Start off with the best one, and then the very next fight was Dan Argueta versus Cody Haddon, and like I think by midway through the second round, I was like, man, it just ain't happening. So Dan Argueta kind of was in all my parlays for the most part. I had a straight bet on him. Just didn't come through for me for the most part. Aside from that, which other one blew it for me? JSP versus Pat Sabatini. That was another one where I was so high on JSP Pierce this past weekend. Yeah, dude, but that is his weakness, dude. Getting submitted, dude. So I mean, what can you say? But
and it was kind of easy too. Like, yeah, it was kind of easy how he got submitted.
Yeah, but aside from that, no money made on fight bets this past weekend, but I don't bet a lot, so you guys don't have to feel bad for me or anything like that. I've been making most of my money on betting football, but this past weekend, D-Rose, a big goose egg as well. I didn't win a damn thing this past weekend. My accounts have been drained, dude. I will finally have to redeposit money into these damn sports books. I had been riding on their money for a couple months now, dude. It felt nice, and then it's finally zeros. They finally got it all back, D-Rose, but it is what it is.
House always wins, man. They always say house always wins. I ended up hitting I told you I hit that touchdown parlay on Sunday with Godwin and Henry. But then other than that, I didn't win anything. But then on Monday Night Football, it was only like a $2 bet, but I put Josh Allen first touchdown, and then I did anytime touchdown worth like $10. I took my last $10 I had in my account and turned into like another $50. So it was like $40, but
that's what's up.
That's what's up, too. Yeah, it was like right when I was at my lowest is when I was able to build it back up, and now we'll try to build on their money, like you said, not trying to deposit again.
Yeah, man, I feel you on that. Man, it just feels so nice to just not have to deposit money into the sportsbook for just a little bit, to just like win and just keep winning, I would have hit the same parlay as you did. I actually had like the 2 touchdown scores, first touchdown scores, also parlayed with Rico Dow first touchdown score, and you know how the Dallas game went this past week, and they didn't score any touchdowns. So I end up not hitting it. That would have been like $5 to 200. That's what, dude. I don't want to say I'm greedy, but it's like I don't know. I just don't care to win 40, $50. It's like if it's not like $150, it's like I don't know. I'm just not really interested in it. I don't know. If I can't turn my $5 into 150, I don't want anything to do with it. But that's
something that needs just a builder, just a little builder, just to get it up there just a little bit more, and then I'll try to take those big swings too.
I saw that on Twitter or X, Sugar Sharp. I hit that little heart button. That was pretty sick. Read this, D-Rest. I turned 45 cents into $1,000 with a 13 leg running NFL. Yeah, it was crazy. I looked at it. I was like, that's absolutely sick. That's
cold. Sick. Yeah, that's cold.
The golden.
Let's go. Let's go.
Maybe one day, Sugar Shark. Maybe one day.
Hey, I got something. I got something in mind for that. We can't. We can't let it go just yet, but we'll talk about it.
All right. With that being said, D-Rose, let's get this show started. UFC Vegas 98. Pretty much, you kind of led off with it. Brandon Royval, Tatsuro Taira. Brandon Royval he was just too good right now, dude. But I picked Royval to win, and he saved me from eating, the triple bean this past weekend. So shout out Brandon Royval. I personally just thought the line was way too far apart, and I just knew Brandon Royval had 5-round cardio, as where we've seen Tatsuro get dropped and be put in pretty bad positions. But that was my reason for picking Brandon Royval altogether. But during the fight, dude, there were multiple moments when I'm like, oh shit, dude. Oh shit. This could end bad right now, dude. And after the fight was over, I guess I was confident that Royval won. I thought he had won. But I guess I was agreeing with Mike Bell a lot this past weekend too, because I was agreeing with his scorecard, and like everyone else was like, "What's wrong with this guy's scorecard?" I'm like, "Hey, I'm agreeing with Mike Bell this past weekend," but it was just because that's what my money was on for the most part. But yeah, and after the fight was over, dude, I may have messaged you, I don't know, but if I did, like the statement was, Tatsuro Taira might be the best grappler in the UFC, dude. You don't see anyone like doing shit that he's doing, and it's odd to see, because you're like, what is he doing? And then like the guy will just fall over or some shit, and it's like, oh, that's what he was trying to do, dude. He is so smooth on the ground. Good luck within the next few years, dude, because he's just going to get better and better. So thoughts on the main event, man?
Yeah, no, and I didn't know that they had actually trained with each other in the past as well. So I heard Royval had mentioned in an interview leading up to it, that's why he was confident in taking this fight, because hey, he had already trained with Tatsuro Taira and kind of knew what he was about already. So no, I thought it was an awesome fight. That's
crazy. Hold on, I'm sorry, D-Rose. Thank you guys so much for getting me interested in online betting. This is my first week. Made $3,000 with $25 deposit. Loading my freezers with meat with these profits. Hey, brother, congratulations on that. But just don't get carried away, man, because that's how you get hooked. You start off with an absolute banger, and then you just turn into a degenerate. Just
get that little lick,
man. Just be safe, man. Just be safe.
Yeah, you get that taste. You get that taste, and then all of a sudden you just need it. You need it. You want more. You need more. And all of a sudden, everything in your life is jeopardized now because you don't put everything on the line. But well, no, shoot, honestly, congrats, Josh. That's a big weekend, man. And yeah, just of course, always gamble responsibly. That's what we always say. But no, the main event was an absolute banger. Brandon Royval just got that dog, man. I mean, you just can't kill him. I told you the same thing on Saturday, which I knew you were impressed with Tyra's grappling, but it's just a Royval, man. It was like every time, especially in that 5th round, when Tyra started stepping forward, it was like every time he did, like Royval literally just throwing punches, just so that way he could make sure he could keep Tyra on his back foot the whole time. And it was just smart pressure, cardio, and was just teeing off on him. Hurt Tyra at multiple points in the fight as well. I think in the 1st round it was. So yeah, it was an awesome fight, man. And it kind of sucks because you could say that Royval could fight for the title right now. Unfortunately, he's fought Pantoja twice already. So I know we'll talk about the title fight coming up, but I think you can almost still even make the argument to say that he could still deserve a title shot even after coming up short to Pantoja twice.
Yeah, I agree. One other thing from the fight that I did want to point out, dude, is I thought Tyra was done. I think it was in the 3rd round, dude. It's just like he looked like completely exhausted, just on his back foot, just got beat up the whole round. And I'm like, he's done. It's over. And he was able to come back and like win the next round, dude. I was like, dude, this kid is going to be a problem in the future. So I'm glad Royval win. But I think I was more impressed with Tatsuro by anything, because I personally thought that Royval was probably going to knock him out around the 3rd, 4th round, something like that. And he didn't get knocked out, and he actually lasted and did very well in that fight. So yeah, I'm excited to see where Tatsuro goes from here. Co-main event: Brad Tavares, Jung Young Park. Not even gonna lie, dude. I was watching this fight, and then at the end of it, I was like, I don't know who won that fight, but I know I picked Brad Tavares. You want to let us know what happened?
Yeah, no, for me, really, it was so Brad Tavares actually started the fight kind of quick and early. He had dropped Jung Young Park with he dropped him with a big shot early in the round. Now Jung Young Park kind of got his bearings back and was able to get back up and end the round on his feet. But I would say Tavares still probably won the 1st round, but I really think from that point on, Jung Young Park got a little bit more settled in. Really, he just kept snapping Brad Tavares with that jab. And that was kind of really the difference maker, because he was able to land his combos on him. Brad Tavares was still landing shots as well, landed big leg kicks. He was definitely snapping Jung Young Park with those leg kicks. So Jung Young Park at one point in time just had to literally just keep just going forward and trying to just throw as many combos as he could, just so that way he could make sure Brad Tavares couldn't throw any leg kicks. And then I think it was late in the 3rd round when Jung Young Park ended up getting a takedown off of it. I think Brad Tavares like tripped or something like that. It was like I can't remember how they ended up on the ground. I did miss that part, but yeah, they ended up on the ground, and Jung Young Park kind of ended up having the ground position for the most part in the 3rd round to really edge out what was a really close fight. I think that 3rd round was really, really close as well. Could have been anybody's fight, but I did think Jung Young Park won. I mean, betting aside, I did think Jung Young Park won that fight.
Yeah, fair enough. I do remember him getting dropped, but I also do remember that Jung Young Park did not move his head, and that Brad Tavares kept landing that straight right, dude. he the same one that he got fucking dropped with. It's the same. He kept landing that same one over and over. It's like Iron Turtle does not move his head, not even at all, because they were just straight punches, just straight down the middle, and he's just eating them. It's like, come on, Turtle. I mean, I'm a fan of the Turtle. I just thought it was probably a bad matchup for him. But anyway, moving on down. Feature fight of the night: Chidi Njokuani versus Jared Gooden. This was all 3 fights for the pick champ: Brandon Royval, Brad Tavares versus Jung Young Park, and Chidi Njokuani versus Jared Gooden. I liked how Jared Gooden started off the fight, immediately attacked the wrestling. I was like, that's what we needed, because I was on Jared Gooden's sub, and I was like, all we need to do is break Chidi, get him tired after this 1st round, and he's cooked. We're good. But, dude, that was the most boring shit ever, dude. Chidi, I thought, was going to be a fun fighter, kind of be like the Kevin Holland type, to come in here, good striking, elbows, knees, dude. And he does throw elbows and knees while he has the fighters up against the cage for fucking 12 out of the 15 minutes of the fight, dude, he's slowly becoming like, dude, I don't want to see Chidi fight. I'm going to be honest. Like, I don't care, not even a little bit, to watch his fights, because I was at the Atlantic City fight versus Reese McKee. The crowd was booing nonstop because of the cage control. And, you know, I thought him like maybe moving down to 170, he was going to have a big size advantage, a power advantage over these dudes. But it seems like he just wants to hold the dudes up against the cage, dude. And man, I am not a fan of that. Like, dude, fuck that shit. I'm not a fan at all, dude. So, fight sucked in my opinion. I was going for Jared Gooden, round 2 or 3 sub. I thought it was kind of fun there in the third. They kind of started going for it, but yeah, I see why Chidi won. What's your thoughts on the featured fight, man?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a solid fight. I mean, I thought the difference between this one and the Reese McKee fight was that I think Reese McKee was initiating a lot of the grappling sequences where Chidi was trying to make sure he kept it on the outside and was able to use the striking, versus in this fight, I think where Jared Gooden kind of initiated the grappling, I think Chidi just kind of almost invited it there. And once he realized he can control him in that clinch, I mean, dude, there were some nasty knees that he was landing to the body. So I will say it's not like he wasn't doing work by any means. It wasn't necessarily foot stomps a la Kamaru Usman. So he was getting off a little bit of good work there. But I just thought the matchup was just kind of weird. And Jared Gooden, I thought that if he couldn't wrestle him, especially I think Reese McKee being the much bigger guy and a much able wrestler as well, wasn't able to really wrestle Chidi. I didn't think Jared Gooden was going to be able to. Once he missed weight as well, yeah, I kind of realized, oh yeah, he might be cooked after this. He might not have any cardio later in the fight, and that's how it ended up really panning out, especially when Chidi was working him to the body there late in the fight. But I thought it was a solid fight, but I think if you can give Chidi a much easier matchup in terms of a striker, I think you can maybe see a more potentially fun matchup. But everybody keeps going in there trying to wrestle with him, and now he's trying to show off his grappling, and I think that's what makes it boring.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Grant Dawson, Rafa Garcia. Grant Dawson with the second round TKO. Grant Dawson with the finish. Busted everyone's parlays that had Grant Dawson 3-or decision. Not this guy, though, because all of my shit was already out by that time, so it didn't even matter. Daniel D-Rod Rodriguez versus Alex Morono, dude. Man, I think we talked about this last week, dude. D-Rod gets these decisions, dude, where you think it's not a close fight and you hear split decision and you're like, damn, like, I guess it's going to split decision, and he barely gets the nod, or like it's completely won, like the Leach fight, dude. He didn't win that Leach fight, but he got the nod.
Nicholas Dalby. I thought he won against Nicholas Dalby, and it was a split decision win for Nicholas Dalby. So
yeah,
to your point.
So it's like he's in these really, really close fights, and it seems like they always go to split decision. And this past weekend, dude, I think it was a justified split decision. Like, it was one where it's like, dude, I think Alex Morono won round 1. Round 2 was, dude, that was a close round. But I think D-Rod, clearly won round 3. But it's like, dude, D-Rod is in these. It doesn't matter who the fighter is. If you're not able to fucking finish him, that fight's going to split decision, dude. Yeah. What's your fights on D-Rod versus Alex Morono?
Yeah, no, fun fight. I thought it was a well-matched fight. Both of them came in there to strike. Alex Morono didn't go for any takedowns, I believe. I think Daniel Rodriguez was the one who actually ended up initiating a little bit of grappling there. I think it took Alex Morono down late in the fight to kind of, I guess, put the icing on the cake. But no, I thought it was a good fight, good scrap. D-Rod's boxing just looked clean. Alex Morono, and we always talk about him and say that, we always underrate him and everything. But one thing that is most certain about him, he is going to be tired in the third round. Like full camp or not. Like he has these
good
big
on the
winging
scales
arm.
too.
Yeah, he did. But he just has these big winging arm punches, and he throws them with like full power. And if he doesn't hurt you early on, or if he can't use his grappling to kind of slow down the fight, he always slows down there in the third round. So I do think the second round was a little bit close. I thought, as you said, I thought Alex Moreno won the first round as well. And I thought D-Rod clearly won the third. And I think what helped D-Rod was that he kind of won the back half of the second round, which kind of helped him edge it off, because you could kind of see Moreno getting tired later in the second round, and D-Rod was able to land a few more combos on him to kind of edge out that second round there. But no, I thought it was a good fight, and yeah, you're right. D-Rod always ends up being in these weird split decisions, man. It's always weird. Just like I said, back to Nicholas Dalby as well. Just weird, man. But he's set up for the UFC multiple times. So, and I know he re-signed that contract after the Kelvin Gastelum fight. So we'll still be seeing him around for a little bit at least. So, but that was a good fight.
Indeed. Let's run through these prelims real quick. CJ Vergara gets finished, knocked out for the first time in the first round by Ramzan Timurov, dude. And, you know, that's what we were kind of saying. We're like, dude, he ain't ever been finished, but this weekend might be the first time. But then I saw weigh-ins, dude, and CJ was way bigger than the dude. And I'm like, CJ never has a size advantage. So I was kind of like leaning, damn, CJ might actually like fucking win this fight. And then he ends up getting knocked out in the first round.
That was crazy. That dude is going to be an absolute savage. For him to come out and fly away like that. Yeah, and dude, for him to finish CJ Vergara, that was a good finish. So that is going to be a badass.
Yeah, Pat Sabatini chokes out Jonathan Pierce in the first round, just climbs on his back, sinks in the rear naked choke, and that was all she wrote, dude. I was like, damn, JSP, I feel you, brother. I feel you, man. Yeah, unfortunately, that one didn't happen. Then Magarimbo, Nico Price, dude. All I heard that whole fight was, Dad, get him, Dad, 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 hit him, Dad, Dad, go, Dad, Dad, go, Dad, get up. Like, that's all I can hear while watching the fight, dude. It's like, dude, like, some people cannot bring their kids to the, like, if you're in the Apex, you should not be allowed to have children under 15 there sitting cage side cheering for you, dude. It's like kind of makes you feel bad for him getting beat up a little bit, like, you know. And I actually think like that Themba Garimbo put out a post after that, like, that was like, man, I was trying to finish you like as much as I could, but then I started hearing your like kids going, go, Dad, go. He's like, I just felt bad if I, you know, hurt you there right in front of your family. So your plan worked, Nico Price. Congratulations. I was like, that could be a solid plan. That could be a solid plan. Junior Tafa, Sean Sharif, dude. Thankfully, I had no money on this fight, dude, but Junior Tafa is so ass, dude. He is so bad. Like I don't even, dude. It's like you can tell that he don't train at all. Like, not even a little bit. Like, he hasn't improved, not even a little bit. He grabs the cage 1,000 times every time he fights to not get taken down. He gets warned by the ref. He's like, yeah, okay. Like, he's like waving the ref off, like, fucking shut up, mate. Like, don't tell me what to do. It's like he fucking smacked Johnny Walker's brother after the last fight, dude. I don't know what UFC sees in him to keep him around when they cut people like Muhammad Makayev. Like, I don't understand it truly. So it's like,
I think the short notice nature, him taking short notice fights for them a couple of different times will
just
that
bad.
always plays a good favor for the UFC though. It always does.
Yeah, but God, I cannot wait to bet against him in his next fight. If it's at least against someone with any sort, if they have one UFC win, max bet on whoever he's fighting, dude. It doesn't matter. Anyway, and then Julia Pelostri, Corey McKenna, dude. That fight went to split decision, and that fight should not have gone to split decision at all. I thought a clear win for Julia Pelostri. And then the other one that blew up all my bets was Dan Argueta, Cody Haddon. I thought Dan Argueta was just going to be able to wrestle this dude, and yeah. Cody Haddon had excellent get-ups and pretty solid takedown defense. He's probably going to be a problem at bantamweight, if I'm going to be honest, because he he's a pretty solid striker overall. And although he did kind of run out of gas there in the third, who doesn't Dan Argueta just kind of like ragdoll the first round? And I think Dan was maybe 4 of 16 on fucking takedowns or some shit like that. So barely got him down at all. And we know how determined Dan Argueta is. And then first fight of the night, Clayton Carpenter at Lucas Rocha. Clayton Carpenter gets the second round submission, but Lucas Rocha, it was just clearly he's too small to be in the UFC because this fight was at flyweight and they don't have a smaller weight class. So I don't really know what he's going to do here, to be honest. So yeah, sucks for that guy. But thoughts on any of the prelims, dude?
No, I mean, honestly, I thought you would pretty much summed it up for the most part. Besides, oh gosh, what's Tamir's? What's his name? The guy who fought
Timarov?
Fought Vergara. Yeah, Timarov. Yeah, Timarov. That dude's going to be an absolute savage, man. Yeah, no, for him to go in there and knock out CJ Vergara, a guy who has not been knocked out. Because you can go back and look at his highlights, and he literally fights that same exact way. And we had even said it going into the fight last week. But to see him actually come out and actually execute it, dude, yeah, I'm definitely like whenever I see him lined up on the fight card, yeah, I ain't going anywhere. There's no PBF in sight with that dude. That dude's an absolute animal. So I'm gonna be sticking around whenever he's fighting next.
All right. With that being said, I got to eat some beans because this past weekend we did have 3 different fight picks that were Brandon Royval versus Hatsuru Taira, Brad Tavares versus Jung Young Park, and Abdul Razak Al Hassan and Josh Frim, but that one fell out. So
then we had
I messaged you.
We had to pick a substitute,
and I said, "Hey, man, which one of these fights do you want?" And you said, "I didn't even know it fell out." I should have said shit. I should have been like Abdul Razak Al Hassan won, or we could have just went off of best of however many we had. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Tafa won, Palustri won, Haddon won, Chidi won. It fucking would have been tied then. So it is what it is. So yeah, I just 2 beans. What did I get? God, dude. Can I just have not
not a red? Let's go.
Fucking bandage, dude. I'm gonna save the blue one for last because either way, I'm eating that one. It's toothpaste or blueberry. Can this not be bandage? Dude, I've yet to have the pomegranate. I've had this a bunch of times, and it's always old bandage, dude. Got my trusty Target bag ready. Please.
Get old bandage for old time's sake, baby. Come on.
Dude, I got a pomegranate.
No.
No. For you guys, I'll put the blue one back. I'll put the blue one back because that was a good one. I ain't even mad at it.
Dude, is that not the best one? Like, that is by far the best
down. One. Dude, I was fully expecting bandage just because it's always bandage. All right, here we go.
That's funny.
Ooh, what's this? I haven't seen this one. Oh, we haven't seen this one in a while. Yeah, we haven't seen the booger, either booger or Juicy Pear in a while, dude.
I have not had Juicy Pear at all. So
No,
Juicy Pear might be good,
it's
but
just
pomegranate is by far the best one.
It's just been booger.
Oh god,
dude! I know what this one tastes like, dude, because it tastes like an old booger from underneath the desk. Here we go. God, I don't have a good feeling here.
Oh man. Dude, no, you're 100% right, dude. It literally tastes like
Dude, like all the bad beans have a distinct flavor, like a sawdust flavor that you immediately know, hey, this ain't good.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's like a grainy type of
Dude, it's so bad.
And it puts you because, and I think it's a mental thing too. When you
I've
hear
eaten boogers as a
like,
child. That's not what it tasted like. I don't remember it tasting like that.
because you're thinking about a booger, and then you get the crunch with it too. So you're thinking about these old, dirty, crusty boogers, and then you get the taste of it, and you're like, ugh. Like, yeah, it tastes much worse than boogers, 100%.
Dude, that one's bad. Oh, I think I blew my nose.
Yeah, it tastes like it tastes like you left a cucumber sitting out on the counter for like at least about like 6 months, and
regretting my life decisions. Like, I'm gonna take a fucking free blue one and hope it's toothpaste. Now it's blueberry. Nah, dog, that one's blueberry.
Looking for the toothpaste. Well, I mean, honestly, you'd have had the blueberry, so you'd have had a nice little run there. But
nah, there was like
to be so honorable and noble.
Yeah, there's like 3 of them on the 3 blue ones on the top. I just grabbed one.
Yeah, for you to be so noble to throw the blue one back for our entertainment.
Yeah, just for you guys, because I tell you who wouldn't do that, and his name is D Rose. That's who would not do that.
Hey, I pick them out one at a time. So hey, look, what you get is what you get, you know.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so glad that is over. Let's get into the UFC news and fight announcements. That's the wrong button. As I share my screen, and we got some fun ones this week, D Rose. We're gonna start off with this one. Johnny Walker. You know the meme that Johnny Walker is at this point, and yeah, I'm sure most of you have seen this at this point, but I'll try to zoom in here as best I can. You can read it. It says Johnny Walker knocked out by 19-year-old welterweight. I sent this to you, D Rose, and did it surprise you one single bit, to be honest?
Dude, honestly, I'm surprised like this hasn't happened more often with Johnny Walker. Like, you know, getting KO'd and like sparring, or him just walking to a restaurant and then just getting hit by a door by accident and falling over and getting knocked out. Like, this should be just like a common like thing with Johnny Walker at this point.
Yeah, but let's just take a watch for everyone that hasn't seen this, and you know, give me your thoughts and opinions after we watch it.
Beautiful job, صحيح. صحيح برافو داود. صحيح يس الله أكبر. الله أكبر.
All right, so that's where we started at. Like, first of all,
and the worst part is Johnny Walker is the one who ends up trying to like take the kid's head off when they're just sparring.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like, dude, look how wild his punches were. Like, he absolutely deserved that. But the thought of it being like a 178-pound 19-year-old is truly laughable when Johnny Walker cuts weight for 205, dude. That is, so he's probably at least 220, 230 there, dude. And this dude is probably at, I don't think boxers cut a lot of weight. So at maximum 190, but he's clearly way smaller of a guy, dude. And just Johnny Walker, just, I don't know what got into him, but Jesus Christ, he deserved every bit of that for swinging like that on the kid, because you hear the coaches saying, hey, Johnny, like, it's like, you know, and right after that, he ends up getting fucking snoozed. Yeah. Sorry about that, Dave.
Yeah, he got what he deserved. No, he got exactly what he deserved for that, dude.
Yeah, good old Johnny Walker doing Johnny Walker things. Yeah, absolutely nuts. So let's get into our actual news and fight announcements. D Rose, I'm pretty sure that. Well, am I still sharing?
Yeah, we talked about this one. Yeah, we
No,
are. Protez and Magni. Yes,
no,
we did talk about this.
well,
But
this is 5 days ago. So the reason why I asked is because I thought it was Randy Brown versus Carlos Prates was announced maybe like a few weeks ago, and then it's almost like that fight got canceled, and then Randy Brown has a new fight in I think in Abu Dhabi.
was it?
I have no idea, dude, but this is November 9th, but it says 5 days ago. So the podcast
I
was 7 days ago. So I don't know what's up
I
there.
could have swore we talked about this, but I think so. I know that this is actually the main event now. Maybe that's the change, is that they announced it to headline. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this has been the fight.
Okay. All right. Well, in that case, I cannot wait for that one. But yeah, I guess I don't know why I thought he was fighting Randy Brown for some reason. But yeah, I cannot wait for that one. Should be a fun one. And then the other fantastic news that we got over the past week was Shavkat versus Bilal, remember the name, Muhammad, is going to headline UFC 310 December 7th. What's your thoughts on this, man, at T-Mobile Arena in Vegas?
Yeah, this is the fight that I think everybody's kind of been wanting, just in terms of everybody's ready for Shavkat to get his turn at the title. And Bilal Muhammad is the guy who, I mean, let's be honest, I don't think Leon would have been as willing to fight Shavkat. I think he kind of would have made a little bit of a problem, versus I think Bilal Muhammad is a little more willing to take on guys like this. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. Hey, Bilal Muhammad came through for me the last 3 fights when I bet on him straight as an underdog. So, yeah, I'd caution everybody to be so willing to count him out, man, because he is he's been on a roll here lately. So I think it's a much well contested fight than what everybody thinks it's going to be.
Who'd win this fight, Dearest? I'm just kidding.
Dude, I don't know.
Dude, I had people fucking reach out to me and like and be like, dude, I'd put money on you in a fight. I'm like, dude, I would get my ass beat.
Sit there and jab you and fucking take your back on fight.
I just guess after meeting him, dude, I can't imagine him being the welterweight champion of the world after, I guess, not being not that big of a guy, dude. I just don't see it. Just don't see his title reign lasting too long. I'm agreeing with Dave. I'm counting him out. Look how little he is. Look, even Dave said it. And I'm only 5'4", so look how little Bilal is.
That's crazy, man. But that's the thing. He's been beating everybody that's bigger than him so far. But I mean, Shavkat's different. Shavkat's different. So
yeah. So with that being said, we got a new introduction to the UFC. This news came out a few months ago that Kai Asakura, Ryzen bantamweight champion, had signed to the UFC. It was kind of buried, like it wasn't 100% true or not. But once I heard that news, I'm like, oh, that's for sure who's going to fight for the title next, because there are no contenders at flyweight, and especially after this past weekend. Brandon Royval turned down Tatsuro Taira. I'm thinking UFC was hoping they would get Kai Asakura versus Tatsuro Taira in Japan. Dude, how nuts of a fight would that have been, coming back to Japan for the first time in a while for a fucking UFC pay-per-view? But unfortunately not. It is Alexandre Pantoja versus Kai Asakura. What's your thoughts on this and the making the UFC debut for a title fight?
I don't know much about the Kai Sakura. I haven't, watched much of his fights. I just, heard about, how great of a fighter he is coming in. But, yeah, just come in straight to get a title shot. I mean, maybe I guess he is a big star in Japan. And I know they said he had like a big following on, like, I guess on all the social medias like Instagram and all that stuff. So, I guess maybe he does pull appeal over on that side of the world, but I guess I just wasn't ready for this type of an announcement. I figured maybe Kai Kara France, just because where it's a fresh matchup, when he did beat Steve Erceg, who just fought for the title. I thought that would have kind of made sense. But yeah, interesting to see that Asakura got the fight. But I would still favor Pantoja at this point.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just don't know if he can make flyweight because he was the bantamweight champion over there. So I guess we'll see. How this goes. That's December 7th, though. We have a rebooking for December 7th in Vegas, and you know what's legal in Vegas? The good old devil's lettuce. Ain't no restrictions going to be put on old Nick Diaz in Vegas when it comes to his smoking habit, like they were trying to do to him in Saudi Arabia, Abu Dhabi, one of those two. Once I saw his book over there, I'm like, he ain't fighting over there. He ain't fighting over there, dude.
Not a chance. We said that immediately too.
But it is rebooked UFC 310 on December 7th. You think it happens, man?
Honestly, I hope not. I mean, I don't need to see Nick Diaz fight again, and Vicente Luque, I might be at the point with him with he's got one of my favorite fights ever, but especially coming off that what was a brain injury, I guess you could basically say, against Jeff Neal, he just hasn't looked the same. And coming off that weird Buckley performance, I don't know if I want to see him really put himself in harm's way too much either. And to see Nick Diaz kind of basically quit against Robbie Lawler in this last fight, I don't need to see this fight, man.
Fair enough. We'll move on to the next one. That is a fun one, dude, with Punahele Soriano taking on Urosh the Doctor Medic, added to UFC 101, January 11th. So that will UFC Vegas 101. So that's going to be in the Apex, dude. I like Puna down at 170, and I think Urosh probably looked better down at 155, dude. This is one where I think Puna probably just is able to implement his wrestling again, if not knock out Urosh match here, dude. What's your thoughts on this fight?
See, I actually see it the other way. I think Urosh Medic is a big dude, and for him to make 155 was a miracle. And he hasn't he lost the fight to make the big Orobai on short notice, but I mean make the big as we've seen make the big that name just cracks me up every time. But we see how dangerous of a fighter he is. And yeah, I thought that Urosh Medic took that fight on short notice against make the big. I think having a full camp against Puna's the guy who has been hurt to the body plenty of times, and there's one thing that Urosh Medic is good for. It's landing straight body punches and landing kicks to the body. So but Puna's got good power in his hands too. So we know how much power he's got in his hands, and I do think that's a good fight.
Yeah. All right. We got Dave saying Argentinian girl in Contender Series last night could get it 10 of 10 chance she ends up next to Aileen Perez on OnlyFans. I don't know. I think she just turned 20. Dude, here's my thing about Contender Series, dude. The girl is 20 years old, right? She wins against Dora the Destroyer, which I had a bet on, by the way, so I ended up losing the bet. But yeah, she was so the 20-year-old wins, and then Dana's like, hey, you're too young to be signed to the UFC. We're going to keep you at the PI, and when you're ready, we'll fucking bring you into the UFC, dude. What's the point of why have them fight on the Contender Series if they win? You're not going to sign them. Like I truly don't understand it. I truly don't. And then did you guys
more or less
hear about Dana, Adam White? Did you guys hear about Dana thinking about adding an atom weight division? That would be on fire. For the women, I think that would be good. Right? That's what I'm saying, Dave. But she's too young at 20. Even though they've signed, 19, 20-year-olds before, dude. She looked good, but yeah, her
just inexperience. Just looked a little green. You can see
it. I agree. Yeah, dude, and we got a rebooking. Justin Tafa is out. Looks like he's going to go not train with his brother because they just now probably got a check. So now they're going to go chill and eat and drink together. But Chris Barnett will now step in on short notice to face Kennedy and Zetriku next weekend, D-Rose, UFC 308. in Abu Dhabi, man. Yeah, what's your thoughts on this short notice rebooking?
I guess the question is, will this fight happen? I mean, Chris Barnett just missed a fight. What, a week
But it was
ago, 2
because
weeks?
the hurricane, like his house was in the path of the hurricane.
Right.
He didn't
right.
want to yeah. But I mean, there ain't no more hurricane now, so it should be good to go.
Right. I mean, I guess. Well, and I was going to say in terms of a weight cut, how dangerous is it going to be? But I guess let's be honest.
He's already
probably not
missed
cut.
weight before. He's missed weight before.
Yeah, it's true. True. I mean, that's what I'm talking about in terms of the weight cutting and everything. How is that going to affect him? I mean, dude, if you miss a heavyweight twice, dude, there's got to be. I mean, there's got to be no more, strikes after that, right? I mean, he's got to get out of there. But yeah, no, I'd be curious to see if this fight even happens. But yeah, Kennedy probably should dominate it.
Fair enough. My bad. I had to cover this game for my job. Do you guys think Puna can still go far? I like Puna at 170. D Rose, not so much. Or I guess, what's your thoughts on Puna?
I like Puna. I just think that Uros Medic matchup. I think Uros Medic is pretty good. But I don't know about title contention or anything for Puna, but I think he definitely has more upside at 170 than 185 for sure.
That's what's up, Joshua Lopez. Hope you're enjoying that, my guy. Sharing his carry, Josh. The UFC brass are so brutal. Even if you're a nice guy, Chris, they'll match you up with a 6'5" guy. Like, come on, dude. There's going to be basically a foot height difference. Dude, imagine he lands a spinning wheel kick.
Barnett's so short. It's not too many heavyweights that he's going to be matched up against that he's not going to have a pretty significant size advantage. Even Jake Collier, who he just fought in his last fight, and Jake Collier used to fight at middleweight. So
yeah, but he's also like 6'3", 6'4" as well, though.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That dude's huge.
And then here we go, dude. This is the last one. UFC 310 Rude Boy Randy Brown taking on Brian the Butcher Battle, December 7th. What's your thoughts on this, man? Good fight or no?
Yeah, no, it's a good fight. And I know Brian Battle's been on a roll, but man, I honestly think this is a kind of a tough stylistic matchup for Brian Battle here, just because I think Randy Brown does rely on his defense pretty well. Now I think Brian Battle's probably gonna have to mix it up with the grappling a little bit. Because, I think if he's just going to go in there and try to strike, man, Randy Brown's pretty slick on the feet, man, and he's he's getting better each time out. So I think that's your favorite move there. But no, that's a badass fight, dude. I like that a lot.
All right. Let's see. Antoine saying, who would you guys pick if Battle KOs Randy Brown and they regard him Ian Gary or Brian Battle? That'd be a fight I'd be more interested in. I think Brian Battle beats Randy Brown. Personally, it may look something like the Jack Della fight, but just with Brian Battle putting on more pressure and landing more punches. But him versus Ian Gary, that would be a good fight. I'd probably go Ian Gary though. What about you, D-Rose? That's our day.
Yeah, I think I think them two matched up right now. I'd have to say Ian Gary, because I think Ian Gary's had enough kind of like higher level competition fights at this point, but let's see Brian Battle put it together, because say if he goes out here and smokes Randy Brown, there's a step between Randy Brown and where Ian Gary's at. I think there's still a few more notches in the rankings, but if he goes out there and blows the doors off Randy Brown, the sky's the limit for Brian Battle. But I'd still pick Ian Gary at this point.
I agree. All right. Let's move on to this upcoming weekend's fights in Las Vegas, in the Apex. We've got UFC Fight Night Vegas 99. Anthony Fluffy Hernandez taking on Michel Demolador Pereira. Looks like I didn't share my screen. D Rose, I'm a fan of both these dudes. I know you're interested in who I'm going to pick for this fight.
Yes, I am. Yeah, no, I kind of called you out a couple of times for kind of jumping on the Michel Pereira bandwagon there, because once he kind of got a little bit more measured and composed, but I know you
kind of picked back up a little bit now. Yeah, but he has,
you
he has like
definitely
picked
fan
it
a
back
little
up a
bit.
little bit now, though. Like, his
Yeah,
past fights up at middleweight, I'm like, dude, he's back. He's back. But on the other
yeah.
hand, Fluffy just has that pressure, dude. That pressure that breaks everybody. Yeah, here we go. We've got I remember when Ilya Taporia and Mobsar were matched up at UFC 270. Who are you guys going to pick back then? I don't remember to be honest.
Yeah.
Austin saying easy win for Pereira. Austin is a big fan of Michel Pereira. So let's get into it, D-Rose. This upcoming weekend, UFC Fight Night, Pereira versus Hernandez is going to be taking place at the Apex Saturday, October 19th at 4 p.m. East Coast time is when the prelims start. Once again, at the Apex, it's going to be 11 fights to go over, headlined by Michel Demolador Pereira taking on Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. We've got Rob Font taking on Kyler the Matrix Phillips. We've got Sumu Darji taking on Charles Energy Johnson, baby. We've got Jake, late notice fight right here. One that I'm upset because I was on Brady Heastan in this fight, but Brady Heastan has fell out of this fight, and Cameron Smotherman has stepped in on short notice to take on Jake Hadley. This fight is at 135 pounds. We have White Kong taking on the baby-faced killer there. And then we've got Darren, the Damage Elkins, taking on Daniel, the Pit Pineda, in a barn burner of a fight. I'm excited to watch that one, not going to lie. We've got Matthias Nicolau taking on Asu Amabayev. We've got Superman, Brad Katona, taking on Jean Matsumoto. We've got Jocelyn La Pantera Edwards taking on Tamaros Tractora Vidal, or you punch me in the titty, I give up. Yeah, and then we've got Jessica Penne taking on Elise Reed. We've got Alice Ardeline taking on Melissa Martinez. Super Melly, and her little brother just now got signed to the UFC via Contender Series. And the opening fight of the card going to be the big boy, Robelis de Spain, taking on former NFL defensive lineman Austin Lane. So that's where we'll start at, D-Rose. Before we get started, though, I'm going to ask you, which fight are you most excited for on this card?
I mean, of course, the main event, but if I had to go non-main event, I was with you. I was on that Jake Hadley and Brady Heastan fight. I thought that was going to be an absolute banger. Probably, honestly, kind of like a kind of like what would be kind of low key. Probably Daniel Pineda and Darren Elkins. I think that's kind of like low key under the radar. I think you're probably going to be most excited for probably the opener. But yeah, I think that Pineda and Darren Elkins fight can be absolutely crazy.
Oh, D-Rose, you know me so well. Although I will not be putting my money on the first fight of the night, I will be stuffing my face with a Five Guys burger and fries while watching this one and enjoying every moment of my life at this point. So let's get into it. Robelis de Spain is 5-1, the big boy. Austin Lane is 12-5. Let me get current odds for this fight because I know these probably are not current. Robelis de Spain is a little bit older. He is 36 years old, but he is giant at 6'7", and I believe he has the longest reach in UFC history at it says 84, but I think it's actually longer than that, to be honest. On the other hand, Austin Lane is 36 years old as well. As I said, former NFL player, 6'6" and an 80-inch reach. I'm getting these odds right here somewhere. Here we go. And the odds for the fight are currently Austin Lane plus 275 and Robelis de Spain minus 345. So Robelis de Spain, pretty big favorite here. The over-under is set at 1.5. Over 1.5 plus 195. The under 1.5 minus 260. So Robelis de Spain and under. I personally see Robelis. He's probably going to knock out Austin Lane in the first round. And if he doesn't knock him out in the first round, just due to Austin Lane getting a takedown and being able to hold him down there, which I don't really see him being able to because it ain't like he's he don't have the Waldo mass. He's more of an athlete as he was in the NFL and can move quick. If he started, I think like all along in MMA, I think he probably would have been pretty good because he's tall, long, probably would have been an excellent striker. But trying to learn now, he just kind of looks goofy for the most part, and yeah, just not a good look. I expect him to get knocked out by the much better striker here. So, Rebellos to Spain, first round knockout for me. D Rose, how about you?
Yeah, I couldn't have said it too much better. I think the only thing that's gonna be crazy about this fight is that there's not gonna be too much of a size difference between Austin Lane and Rebels de Spain. Like, cause dude, Austin Lane goes in there, and when he fought Justin Taffa, like, dude, he towered over Justin Taffa, you know. So, and he was even a pretty good deal bigger than Greg Hardy when he fought Greg Hardy on the Contender Series back in the day. So he is not a small guy by any means. So I think him and Robelas de Spain are going to be damn near eye to eye. So it's going to be crazy to see Robelas de Spain standing next to somebody who's as big as him. But yeah, I think he's going to go in there. Austin Lane. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Austin Lane got knocked out within the first minute.
Yeah, I agree.
The red X. Yeah, 100%. 100%, Dave.
He just every time he loses, he just gets knocked out. So it is what it is. So we'll move on to the next fight. Me and D Rose is on. Me and D Rose are both on Rebellos de Spain here. We'll move on to the next one. That is Alice Ardelene, OnlyFans model, taking on Super Melly Melissa Martinez. Currently, odds for this fight are -130 for Melissa Martinez and +110 for OnlyFans model Alice Ardelene. Alice Ardelene, 32 years old, 5'3", and a 62-inch reach, while Super Melly is 27 years old, 5'2", and a 64-inch reach. And I'll start off like this. We've seen Alice Ardelene one fight in the UFC where she fought Mama B, Shauna Bannon, in her last fight, and I did pick Mama B in that fight. I think me and you were kind of joking back and forth, like, they're just trying to get Shauna Bannon a win, bringing in this OnlyFans model, yada, 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 and yeah, dude, this girl, it's almost like she just needs a little bit of skills, to be honest, because she's tough and she's going to be there all 3 rounds. And to be honest, I think she may have took a round off of Shauna Bannon because she's a pretty physical girl. If she's able to get a hold of you, you're probably going to get pinned up against the cage or you're going down to the ground. And on the other hand, Melissa Martinez, we've seen her fight, I think once, maybe twice, but she just looks really small. And I personally think in this fight that Alice is going to have just a physical advantage over Melissa Martinez. Going to be a terrible fight. Going to be a PBF if you want. But yeah, give me Alice Ardelene to win this fight. Be a terrible, terrible decision. Just boring. What about you, D Rose?
Yeah, I'm with you in terms of PBF. I mean, I got this eyelash like hanging right in my eye, and it is absolutely killing me right now. But no, I am with you in terms of PBF 100%. Yeah, order your pizza, use the bathroom, cook your dinner, do what you got to do. If you got to go get 3 pumps out real quick, you go ahead and do that and come back. I mean, you go ahead and do your thing because this fight is not worth it. But I'm just going to take Melissa Martinez just because, I mean, Alice Ardelene, I mean, she did look competitive in that Shauna Bannon fight, but I'm not going to lie, man. I'm not super high on Shauna Bannon either.
Oh, no, she's terrible.
Yeah, no, I don't think she's that great. So I think if you lose to Shauna Bannon, man, that's kind of rough sailing for you. So give me Melissa Martinez.
All right. Our first different fight of the night will be Alice Ardelene versus Super Melly Melissa Martinez. I am on Alice Ardelene, D Rose on Super Melly. We'll move on to the next one. Another girl fight. We do have Jessica Penne, UFC vet Jessica Penne, taking on Elise Reed. The UFC vet Jessica Penne is currently +150. She is 41 years old, so rather old. She is 5'5" and a 67-inch reach, while Elise Reed is currently -180, the favorite, 31 years old, 5'3", and a 63-inch reach. D Rose, I feel like you should be versed enough in both these ladies to be able to break this one down. So I'm going to pass this one to you first, my guy. Break it down, and who are you going with?
Yeah, I think I think it's kind of funny. I think I know who you're leaning in this fight,
Of course,
but
If
but
Elise
for but
Reed
for
gets subbed, dude, fucking Jessica Penney is going to hop on that back and take that neck. I'm taking the dog here, but I'm going to let you break it down.
Yeah, no, I think honestly it's just a classic kind of that striker versus grappler type of fight where I think if Elise Reed is able to keep it on the feet, she's going to be able to get to a decision. And I think if Jessica Benet, as you said, get it to the ground, man, she's very dangerous with submissions, chokes, arm bars, all that stuff. She does not play around. If she gets on the ground, she goes down, and she does go for the finish. I think Elise Reed does not have the greatest takedown defense, but a lot of what Jessica Benet does in terms of trying to get the submission is honestly just push the chick to the cage and then just try to jump on the back from there. She doesn't really have like an actual, I don't know what my phone's doing here, popping up ads, but I think in terms of actual takedowns, Jessica Benet just doesn't have any actual wrestling to be able to get Elise Reed to the ground. Now, I mean, she can get her back against the fence and potentially get a rear naked choke. I would not be surprised if that was to happen. But I think Elise Reed's going to be a little bit more versed at this point to be able to defend Jessica Benet and her inability to take the fight to the ground. And Elise Reed just keeps it at a standing decision for another PBF fight.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, now if this is at distance striking range the entire fight, I will acknowledge that Jessica Penney is going to get her face boxed off. I will acknowledge that because I'm probably on the side of people that are not really an Elise Reed hater for the most part. I think she has good skills. It just depends on the matchup. Now, this matchup, I think a lot of people are going to count Jessica Penney out. I honestly would have thought the odds would have been farther apart with people picking Elise Reed just because, Jessica Penney is old. We haven't seen her in a while, but I think they're aware of Elise Reed's weakness is, dude, she's been doing a lot of this cage pushing, and Penney is so slick about somehow she can be held against the fence and somehow end up on the other girl's back. And it just happens like that. She'll pull guard. The only way that Jessica Penney wins this fight is via submission. And that's the way that I'm picking her to win this fight. Let's go, Jessica Penney. Let's go, Jessica Penney via sub. So it looks like we are split on that one as well. I am on Jessica Penney. D Rose is on Elise Reed. And another women's fight in a row, dude. We got 3 of these bad boys stacked up. We've got Jocelyn La Pantera Edwards taking on Tractora, or you punch my titty, Tamaris Vidal. Currently odds for this fight, once again, farther apart than I would have personally liked them to be. We got Jocelyn Edwards minus 278, or basically minus 280 at this point. She is 29 years old, 5'8" and 5'8" and a 70-inch reach, while Tamaris Vidal, or you punch my titty, is 26 years old, 5'6" and a 68-inch reach. We saw Melissa Gatto, give her the old titty punch, and she literally just gave up because she wanted a timeout for being punched in the boob, and you don't get timeouts for being punched, especially in a legal place. So I don't know what she was wanting there. So her last fight, she was knocked out. I like Jocelyn Edwards here just because, once again, she's a big girl, dude, and 5'6" versus 5'8". She's for sure going to be the bigger girl here. Going to be the thicker on the bottom half here, but we do have, I guess, how do I say this? The Tamaris Vidal side is a lot more, I think, testosterone filled, I guess. I don't want to assume anything, but I would guess that she has a girlfriend. Yeah, she's definitely the man in the relationship. So with that being said, it's just like she just tries to go out there and bully the people that she's fighting, and she's got a round. And if she don't get you out of there in that first round, she's ready to pack that shit up and go home. So give me Jocelyn Edwards to win this fight via decision. I agree. I agree.
Hey, yeah, 100%. Thighs for days.
I don't think she does, Dave. I think she's like one of those that just wears around the fucking fake dick at all times. She just in her every day. She just has it on.
She definitely has. She wears khaki shorts and a black Hanes t-shirt, and she tucks her t-shirt into her khaki shorts. She 100%. That's 100% the outfit that she wears a lot of times with like some open toe sandals. That's
yeah.
her
Show you, and you gotta show the boxers off. Like
yeah, 100%. Get the polos on. I got the polo draws on. All that stuff. Yeah, I think I am with you in terms of Tamara Vidal's takedown defense. Now I know TK. Tell you I go. That's hilarious. I think Tamara Vidal. I think another kind of striker versus grappler type of matchup though. Now Tamara Vidal does kind of go for it in terms of throwing big punches, but it's not anything coordinated. And I think really the only way she's able to work the fight to the ground or to win the fight is to work it to the ground. And I do think Jocelyn Edwards, although she has lost her last two, Aileen Perez is a really good wrestler as well. But she has improved her takedown defense a lot. I typically never pick Jocelyn Edwards, but I think, yeah. I'm not betting this in anything, but give me Jocelyn Edwards here.
Yeah, I agree. I think she should win this fight easy. Do you guys think if we can take a break for a couple of shots, they should give 5 minutes for, let's say, titties? I'm not sure what you're asking, Antoine. D-Rose, help me out.
No, he's talking about the 5 minute for a titty punch.
For
you know what I mean?
Punch.
Yeah, can a titty punch get a 5 minute break like a nut shot? I mean,
I don't really know what it feels like. Aside from all the like the titty twisters and like a middle school dude, because dude, them shits were brutal. I remember having like bruises because people would like just fucking titty twister everyone. Dude,
could you imagine having nuts on your chest and then getting hit on your chest and then that shit hurts like it does getting hit in your nuts? Like
that would be
you
terrible.
feel that shit like deep in your chest. Like, yeah, that would be absolutely awful. So if it was like that, like I am with Antoine in terms of, hey, maybe they should get something.
Dave's saying it's just fatty tissue. It's probably getting like punched in that. I mean, like if I've been punched in the chest, I mean, if it feels the same, then no. But if it feels different, I don't know, possibly. But I don't know what it feels like. I ain't a girl. All right, we'll move on to the next fight. Brad Superman Katona taking on Gian Matsumoto. Superman Brad Katona is currently plus 180, the underdog. Gian Matsumoto is minus 220, the favorite. Brad Superman Katona, 32 years old, 5'6", and a 64-inch reach, while Gian Matsumoto is 25 years old, 5'6", and a 68.5-inch reach. D-Rose, I'm gonna pass it to you. Go for it, my guy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I am I cannot quite remember. Did he come from the Contender Series? Matsumoto?
I know he's fought one time in the UFC. Let's click him.
Yeah.
Let's help out, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he fought Dan Argueta in his last fight.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that I remember from there, but I couldn't remember if he came from a Contender Series or what.
Contender Series in 2023 beat Casey Tanner.
Okay. And then looking at, I mean, he did submit Dan Argueta, which we, as you said, I know you highly regard him in terms of being a grappler and all. And man, I just think Brad Katona, man, like his big thing, he's just always steady, but he never does enough Like that's always his big problem is that he's always doing just enough to win a fight because he's so smart, he's so calculated. But he doesn't do anything. He has no killer instinct at all. It's always going to be a boring fight. I think a lot of people were surprised to see him lose that Garrett Armfield fight. But man, I'm not gonna lie. I think he's a live dog here. I know Matsumoto. You know, I know he has a lot of hype coming in and everything. But I think Brad Katona, you can make the argument that he's fought a little bit better competition. Been in the UFC a little bit longer, and he's not easy to finish. Versus where I know Matsumoto does have a couple of decision wins as well, so he's used to going 3 rounds. But I think Brad Katona's a live dog here. I think I might regret it, but I'll take a shot at the dog here.
You see me writing this down? Katona for
But you're definitely throwing that in there.
Yeah, just because I personally think this is a fight kind of like the last one, except for Brad Katona doesn't have as good of wrestling as Dan Argueta does. Yeah, I'm gonna put it like that. And I just think personally, narrative wise, UFC is, I think, out of the Brad Katona business, to be honest. Like, he's won the Ultimate Fighter 2 times now and has yet to change his fighting style at all, even in the slightest, dude. As you said, he's just going to do just enough to win every single time and nothing more. The fight's going to go to decision almost every damn time, and maybe even split decision. And over these past couple fights, man, you've kind of seen judges maybe lean not his way. I wonder, and maybe the UFC is like, hey, we're done with this dude. We gave him 2 chances now. He's boring as shit. He don't do anything. If it's close at all, give it to the other guy. It wouldn't surprise me one bit. And I think Matsumoto just has enough gas and finishing ability that if Brad Katona gets too confident in, I'm going to take this guy down, then he's going to get submitted just like Dan Argueta did. So with that being said, give me a Jean Matsumoto to win this fight via second round submission. Yeah, we got Tyson Uppercuts in here with the what's going on. How you doing, Tyson Uppercuts? We'll move on to the next one. We're split on that one for our third different pick of the day. Jean Matsumoto. I am on Jean Matsumoto, and D Rose is on Brad Katona. And D Rose already regretting it. Look at him. He's like, oh, I can taste the fish flakes from next week already.
Hell nah. Brad Katona gonna come through for me. I'm just like, man, why would I pick Brad Katona? Yeah, I mean, it will, because he is a little bit more experienced, but it's just, man, I don't know. Can I change my pick?
Nope. You've said it. Moving on to what is this? This ain't we got a few more fights. We got Matthias Nicolau taking on Asu Amabayev. Currently, odds for the fight: Asu Amabayev minus 198 or minus 200. Your favorite. Matthias Nicolau plus 164 or plus 165. Your underdog. Matthias Nicolau, 31 years old, 5'6", 66-inch reach, while Asu Amabayev is 30 years old, 5'4", and a 65-inch reach. I think, D Rose, when Matthias first came into the UFC, I'm not sure what your opinion on him was, but I was like, this guy could be pretty good. He just kind of like, skirts around the outside, baits these dudes in, and when they come trying to crash in on him, he just knocks them out. But I think we found out now that he doesn't have a good chin because he's just been knocked out. And I think his past 2 fights being Roy Val and Alex Perez now. So I think the game plan is out there now for Matthias Nicolau. If you touch his chin, he could go down. And Asu Amabayev, not really a great striker, but he is a very solid wrestler. And that's another thing that we've seen Matthias Nicolau struggle with is just once he gets taken down, he kind of just stays on his back for the most part. So, give me Asu Amabayev to probably win this fight. Let's go via decision. Which way are you going here, man?
I think Asu Amabayev, he is good, man. And he's one of those Kazakh fighters that's came over.
Mm-hmm.
I almost mixed him up with the other one. Who was the one that lost to Charles Johnson.
Charles Johnson. I think that one might be the one that lost to Charles Johnson.
No, I don't think it's Almabayev. No, it wasn't him, but yeah, I can't remember which one. I almost mixed the two up, but
no,
it's Almabayev.
You're right.
His wrestling. Yeah, his wrestling is good, but his striking is really not the greatest though. It hasn't came along that much just yet. Mateus Nicolau, again, a little bit more battle tested. He has fought, the highest level of UFC flyweights, but I do think Asuma Mabayev, I do think his wrestling is just going to be just enough to put that pressure on Nicolau. Nicolau does have some good power, man, but I do think, as you said, he can be taken down. I don't think this would be a super fun fight, but I think Asuma Mabayev will get a 3-round wrestling decision.
All right, fair enough. Me and D-Rose both on Asu Amabayev. We'll move on to probably one of the funnest fights of the night. We've got Darren the Damage Elkins taking on Daniel the Pit Pineda. Currently odds for this fight, -108 for Darren Elkins and -112 for Daniel the Pit Pineda. So basically, even fight, almost 110 apiece. Darren Elkins, 40 years old, 5'10" and a 71-inch reach, while Daniel the Pit Pineda is 39 years old, 5'7" and a 69-inch reach. Let's start off like this. I guess in the past we have seen that if Daniel Pineda can't get you out of there in the first round, he just kind of packs it up, don't really have much left, and he's going to give up that second round. But over his past few fights, I think he's shown, I guess, a little bit more fight in him. The will to at least go farther in the fight, go all 3 rounds, because his last fight went all 3 rounds. I guess I have to give Daniel Pineda more credit in his cardio now. Maybe he's putting more work in. He has taken on the Damage, Darren Elkins here, that is, dude, he just looks old as fuck in the octagon. I don't know any way other to say it, dude. It's just like he is going in there all wrapped up, dude. I'm surprised they're not fucking wheeling him out there in a damn fucking wheelchair, and then he fucking stands up and they put fucking Vaseline on him from that point on. So he just looks bad in there. But that being said, if I just go back to, I know I said I have to give him more credit for his gas tank, but in my opinion, this fight is Daniel Pineda round 1 or Darren Elkins late round 2, round 3. I am going to lean Daniel Pineda, though. I don't know how he gets it done. Which way are you going here, D-Rose?
Yeah, man. I think this is again, we had said it earlier, but I think this is the most exciting fight that's going to be on this card. And let's hope not, man. Let's hope not. And I just think it's so well contested. Both guys have good wrestling. Both guys good jiu-jitsu. Both guys got heart. Even though they're both older now, they will go out there and still this fight to the absolute death. And especially for Pineda, always looking for a finish, man. All of his wins have came by finish. That dude has never seen a decision in a win in his life. So that dude is an absolute savage for that. So for me, I'm with you. I think it's either Daniel Pineda, either round 1, or Darren Elkins, round 2 or 3. The difference for me, I think where you really have to get on Darren Elkins is that you have to be able to hurt him. And while I think Daniel Pineda has good boxing, I don't think he really has dangerous boxing. And I think even though he can potentially land against Darren Elkins, I think Darren Elkins can kind of weather on him, or just kind of put his will on him, just kind of wrestle him, kind of that chain wrestling. Even if he's not holding him down all the time, just getting Daniel Pineda tired. And I think Darren Elkins takes over later as the fight goes. So give me Darren Elkins here.
All right, dude, you are about to get clean swept this next week. I am giving you no breaks.
Let's go. Let's go. I thought I was gonna get you last week, but hey, if you're gonna throw that one in there, no, I like that matchup. I like that matchup a lot. So
It's gonna be Katona, Matsumoto, Elkins, and Pineda. Yeah, I'm gonna find another one. If not, I don't know about the last two. So we'll move on to the next one where we have Cameron Smotherman taking on White Kong Jake Hadley. So White Kong Jake Hadley, 28 years old, 5'7" and a 70-inch reach. I don't think we got odds for this fight yet, do we, D-Rose? At least I don't see any right
Yeah,
here. I know it got added.
I don't see any.
I know it got added today. So with that being said, Jake Hadley, 28 years old, 5'7", 70-inch reach. Cameron Smotherman, 27 years old, 5'9", and a 69-inch reach. Yeah, I've done no research on this fight, but aside from Jake Hadley's side, because Jake Hadley was going to be fighting Brady Heastand this upcoming weekend, and I was really big on Brady Heastand because I love Brady Heastand as a fighter, to be honest. He's relentless with the takedowns, and he has lots of round 3 finishes. How can you not love playing round 3 props? It's always the biggest plus money. Yeah, so I'm big on Brady Heastand. But with that being said, he is pulled out of this fight, and in steps the baby-faced killer, Cameron Smotherman. I don't know if I said it, but 27 years old, 5'9", 69-inch reach. Yeah, I just have to go Jake Hadley here just because Cameron Smotherman last year lost to Harlampos Gregorio on the Contender Series, and then that dude lost to the biggest fade of the century that we were all on, Weston Wilson versus who was it, D-Rose?
Honestly, I cannot remember. Who did Weston Wilson fight last?
Yeah, it was the Asian dude, but that dude, I don't know where I'm going with that. I forgot what I was saying. There was some kind of tie-in that I've completely forgot at this point. But with that being said, that's what it was. No, Harlampos lost in his last fight to that triangle. Lost via triangle. And I think one of the dudes lost to Weston Wilson. And then I think that dude went on to fucking lose to Weston Wilson. So I don't know, some shit like that. But yeah, I'm just not the. I know it's a lot of MMA math, and it doesn't really matter. But in short, give me the UFC fighter that has UFC level experience that I haven't seen lose to someone that isn't the greatest on the Contender Series. Give me Jake Hadley to win this fight via decision. How about you, D-Rose?
Yeah, I think Jake Hadley looked good in his last fight against Colin Loughran at 135, and his boxing is clean as well. You know, Cameron Smotherman taking this fight on a short notice too, so I think the cardio is probably not going to be there for him. I'm curious to see what his weight cut is going to be like, because if he's not going to make weight, Jake Hadley's nasty with the body shots, man, and you can maybe see a body shot knockout too. So let's go Jake Hadley.
All right. All right. Me and D-Rose both on White Kong, Jake Hadley. Moving on to the next fight, we've got the Tibetan Eagle, Sumu Darji, 28 years old, 5'8", and a 72-inch reach, taking on Charles Energy Johnson, 33 years old, 5'9", and a 70-inch reach. Currently, odds for this fight minus 230 for Charles Energy Johnson, while Sumu Darji is plus 190, the underdog. Over-under on this fight is 2.5, minus 238 for the over, and under 2.5, plus 180. D-Rose, I know Sumu Darji was in one of your fights to remember of all time featuring Sumu Darji and Danger Matt Schnell. So I know you're a fan of his fights, but Charles Energy Johnson has slowly crept up on us. I've been a Charles Energy Johnson fan ever since I saw his haircut for the first time because it's awesome. But I think he's slowly been creeping up on your fan side as well. I'm gonna let you break this one down first, man. What you got here?
Yeah, no, I've always respected Charles Johnson's game. And one of the things that I'd always noted about it is most of the time always been my issue about picking him in a fight is that he's always had the ability, as he's shown in his last few fights. There's just times where even in like that Odie Osborne fight, like he just has these lapses and moments when he's fighting, and I don't know where he just hesitates to pull the trigger. But we know that he's got pretty good power. He's got pretty precise striking, good wrestling. He's a well-rounded fighter, and I think over these last few fights, you kind of seen his maturation come through, and and then for Sumidarji, I mean, we know how dangerous of a fighter he is. Yeah, as you said, in one of my favorite fights of all time. But you gotta get the thing brushed up a little bit. It just looks like a you gotta roll it up. Yeah, you gotta roll it up a little bit more. Man, but no, I say all that to say that I think Charles Johnson's coming into his own now, especially coming off that finish of Josh Van the way he did. I don't know if he, well, I was going to say I don't know if he finishes Sumidarji, but Sumidarji does get tired pretty quick, man. Let's go. If I'm going to bet this fight, I'm probably going to bet at Charles Johnson round 3 or decision just to try to cover my butt there, because I can see maybe a late TKO or submission from Charles Johnson as well. So let's go Energy Johnson.
Hell yeah. Me and D-Rose. I mean, is it any question which side I'm on? Skullet gang, stand up, baby. Let me get my fucking mullet going out the back. I tried to. This is the second one that I've ordered of like these, because I tried to cut the last one and like draw some cool designs on it, but then it looked like shit. And then I was like, I'm just going to get another one. I'm not going to do anything to it. I'm just going to leave it how it is, and I'm just going to have a little hair sticking out the back in support of the Skullet gang. Charles Energy Johnson, baby. I agree with you, D-Rose, and I am going to be on the same play with you. I will be taking a shot at those Charles Johnson round 3 props. So the KO round 2, 3, I'll be taking a shot at that, but I will also be taking a shot at just Charles Johnson round 3. I don't know how he's going to get done, because he could submit Sumidarji. I don't know if he has any submissions, but would it surprise me? No, because he could just, I'm exhausted, and just tap when you have your arm around my face, so with that being said, I am with you, D-Rose. Give me Charles Energy Johnson round 3 or decision. Probably one of my favorite plays this week, and I will for sure have that in a few bets. And we got odds, D-Rose. Let me let you know what they are. Charles Energy Johnson, 3 or decision. Fuck.
Minus 130.
Minus 110. Minus 110. Charles Energy Johnson, 3 or.
That's a parlay piece, though. That's a parlay piece. That's the anchor on a parlay piece for sure.
Yeah, man, that's upsetting. Let me go.
You know what? Honestly, I've gotten to the point where even minus 110, I've gotten to the point where I'll even bet that's free if I'm that confident on it.
However, Charles Johnson to win in round 3 is plus 1,000. So, it'll equal out. How do you guys feel about 310? We've kind of gone over the few fights that have been announced so far. They are pretty solid fights, and it should be a pretty solid pay-per-view. So we'll move on to the next fight. Should be the co-main event, I believe, and it is Fabrant. Oh my goodness, I'll never forget that. Rob Font taking on Kyler the Matrix Phillips. Currently, odds for this fight are Rob Font is plus 340, the underdog. Kyler Phillips minus 440, the favorite. Dude, well, this line is so far apart for no reason. Rob Font, 37 years old, 5'8", 71.5-inch reach, while the Matrix, Kyler Phillips, is 29 years old, 5'8", and a 72-inch reach. Do I think Kyler Phillips wins this fight? Yes. Do I think he should be a minus 440 favorite? Absolutely not. It's just too wide. I don't know if I can even bet that, D-Rose. I do think Kyler Phillips dances around the outside all 3 rounds, does solid kicks, maybe does a cool shit here and there to kind of show that he's in control of the fight and winning the round. But there's always that chance, dude, of Rob Font, laying one of those paws on you and knocking you down or even knocking you out. So I don't like the line is so far apart. If I'm betting this fight, it's dog or pass for me. But my pick is Kyler Phillips to win this fight via decision. How about you, man?
Yeah, I think Rob Font, he, obviously great boxer. He has a lot of high level competition at this point, and Kyler Phillips is kind of one of these young up and comers, flashy striker. He's kind of showed his last few fights where he's a little bit more well rounded. He really tried his best to finish Pedro Munoz. Pedro Munoz is just absolutely unfinishable, dude. Like him and Cheeto, like both of their chins had to be examined because Kyler Phillips was hitting Pedro Munoz with the whole kitchen sink, and Pedro Munoz still didn't even I don't even know if he got cracked in that fight at all. Like that dude's an absolute iron chin. But no, Kyler Phillips had a really good performance against him, and I think he's starting to come into his own a little bit now. And you can even see him starting to utilize his wrestling a little bit more in his game as he kind of did against Pedro Munoz. And I think Rob Font, a guy who has been taken down notoriously in his career, Corey Sandhagen and others you can kind of go back to in his past and see where he's lost his fights. I think that's where Kyler Phillips takes it. I think he's a better striker overall in terms of the more variety of attacks. But I do think that for he's going to be more well-rounded in terms of wrestling as well. Pretty much have Rob Font in his back for all 3 rounds, and I think Kyler Phillips gets the decision.
All right, me and D-Rose both on Kyler. The Matrix Phillips in the co-main event. So it is main event time. If you guys haven't already, please do us a favor. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. We're here every single week, breaking these fights down, giving you our picks and all that good shit. The least you could do is hit that thumbs up button for us. So with that being said, Michel Demolador Pereira taking on Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. Fun fight. Currently, odds for this fight, minus 135 for Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. Michel Pereira is plus 115, the underdog. Michel Pereira says he's 31 years old. I don't know if it's true or not. 6'1" and a 73-inch reach, while Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, also 31 years old, 6 foot and a 75-inch reach. I know you want me to expose myself here, D-Rose, but I'm going to pass this one to you, and I'm going to let you break this one down first. And if we're on the same one, we already got enough picks. It's okay, man. It's okay.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I'm so up in the air on this fight right now. Mainly just because we know how both fighters are going to come in here and fight. We know that this is one of those. Fluffy's going to come in. Dude's going to put nonstop pressure on you, nonstop boxing. You're going to put his wrestling together. Yeah. He is good for doing that. But hey, he's letting you know he's still in the fight, dude. He is letting you know he is still in the fight. And then Michel Pereira, just as explosive as he's looked, man. Dude's just been absolutely dangerous. And just looking at it in his last few fights with Io Pereira, the way he finished him, that was the one he did the backflip on Io Pereira, right? Like where he hit him and then jumped
and then choked him out, and then choked him out,
hey,
and then he dropped him.
Yeah, like that. Like that was pretty rough, Michel Pereira, man. So what I like about Michel Pereira is that I know what you liked him for when he first came into the UFC. He was this explosive athlete who did all these backflips and all this crazy stuff going into the octagon. And when he kind of made that turn in his career, who was it against? It was against Imadaev in that
Chaos
fight.
Williams, I think that fight.
Yeah, it might have been the Cass Williams fight, where you was kind of like, you kind of backed off a little bit, but I had said that I kind of liked the performance because he's showing a little bit more composure, not doing all this extra stuff. I think the Io Pereira fight is kind of the perfect mixture of him being his wild man self, was still being composed and in the moment. So he's super dangerous at all times, man. The only thing that has got me a little bit hesitant, he has not faced a dangerous wrestler like Fluffy. And I think Fluffy, man, I picked against him in the last few fights. I thought Roman Kapilov was going to be able to get him. Did I pick Edmund Shabazian? Don't tell me I picked Edmund Shabazian. I can't remember.
I don't know.
There's no way I picked Edmund Shabazian, but it was Roman Kapilov, and there's one more fight in there that I had picked different against Fluffy. Do I learn my lesson? That's the big question. And I gotta go Fluffy. Man. I think I think Roman Kapov is another guy who's super explosive and dangerous. And I think if he couldn't hurt Fluffy to the body, as good as Michelle Pereira is, I think Fluffy's wrestling is going to be able to get it done. Let's go Fluffy round 3 submission.
I don't hate it. I will go off of what you said with Roman Kapilov, and I will say this. That Roman Kapilov does not do shit in the first round. He has no first round fucking finishes. He takes his time in the first round so much. And if you're gonna let Fluffy get started on you from that point on, he's gonna be rolling and it's over from that point. So with that being said, I think Michel Pereira is gonna start off like a bat out of hell, like he always does. We know Fluffy is, I don't want to say weak to the body, but has been hurt to the body. We know this. I think when this fight first got announced, I said this. I was like, I think I'm on Michel in this fight just because the body kicks. And, dude, I think, as crazy as it sounds, I think it looks just like the Mikhail Olashechuk fight. I think it's going to look exactly the same. It could last 45 seconds. And if Michel wins, it needs to last about 45 seconds for me to be happy with like, okay, good. That's what happened. Because that's what I've seen happen. Because the longer this fight is extended, dude, it's going to make me more and more scared. I am picking Michel Pereira, first round knockout, maybe even first round sub, because he could hurt him to the body and then end up submitting him. Let's go Michel Pereira round 1 finish. That's the way I'm going. And now I can pull these up. We got Austin saying Michel going to go on title run after this. We got Antoine saying, I think Pereira wins, just a more dangerous fighter. Fluffy relies on guys gassing out. And I think that's kind of on the same path that I am on, Antoine, as well. D-Rose is going to be eating beans and LMFAO. So with that said.
Hell no.
D-Rose, I'm sorry I have to do this to you, man. I'm calling it right now. It's about to be a clean sweep. How about this, D-Rose? How about this? 3
we ain't
beans.
making no truces or nothing.
No, it ain't gonna not benefit. It's not gonna do any harm to you at all. It'll be me feeling the pain with you. I'm gonna let you know on the show next week. 3 beans will be eaten. I'm gonna let you know that. Whether D Rose gets clean swept and eats 3, whether he loses and eats 2 beans, and I have to eat the 3rd bean to make it 3 beans, or if I lose, I'll eat 3 beans next week, because I am so fucking confident this week in our 3 picks. Wow, D-Rose, all right, our 3 different picks.
You're willing to bet 3 beans,
dude.
Huh?
3 beans are going down your gullet this upcoming week. I promise you, dude, because this is a clean sweep. This is a clean sweep cooking up right here. Our 3 different picks for this upcoming weekend are John Matsumoto versus Brad Katona, where I am on John Matsumoto. D Rose is on Brad Katona. Our second different fight is Daniel the Pit Pineda versus Darren the Damage Elkins, where I am on Daniel the Pit Pineda, D Rose on Darren the Damage Elkins. And our third and final different fight is the main event for this upcoming weekend, Michel Demolador Pereira versus Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. I am on Michel Demolador Pereira. D Rose is on Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. So how you feeling, D Rose? I am pretty confident that all 3 of those
I'm feeling exactly what Dave's saying. I'm feeling exactly what Dave's saying at the bottom. You're talking a little greasy for these betting lines to be as close as they are.
Nope,
I mean,
nope, dude. This is a clean sweep.
Yeah,
this is a clean sweep this week.
Clean sweep. You're talking a little greasy for acting like you don't know that this is the fight game. You know this is the fight game.
It happens. But let me tell you, D Rose, it's time. It's time. I feel it.
What are you going to do at the end of the break, or not the Brady Heaton, but at the end of the Brad Katona and Matsumoto fight, when it goes to the decision and you hear a judge's name announced by Joe Martinez before he announces the fighter's name, because every single time when I'm watching a fighter that I need to win, and I hear Bruce Buffer say, Adelaide Bird scores this fight, and I'm like, shit, it's going to split decision. And like I hear the name of the judge, and I'm like, shit. So that's exactly, you're going to hear that judge's name in the Krakatoa announcement and shake your pants.
Lucky for you, D Rose, is Brad Katona is going to get submitted in the second round, so it ain't even going to get to the decision. So it's all good, man. You ain't got nothing to worry about. I got 3 finishes happen. I got Brad Katona getting submitted. I got Darren Elkins getting submitted, and let's go Michelle Pereira submitting Fluffy Hernandez too. Let's just go. D Rose is going to eat the beans on the submissions. That's what's going to happen. All right. With that being said, I have no plus 100 parlay piece this week because I give up. Because every time I put one out, it just loses. So we've hit like 1 or 2 maybe, but we can't really get past that point. So I
can't jump on. So
no,
every single time I do it, it ends up losing. So I can't jump on with you.
If I had a near even play this week,
Alex Ardoin.
No. I'm surprised you even say that because you picked Melissa Martinez.
I'm saying for you to have a play. I'm not playing it again because I'm the one who always ends up cursing it. But I'm talking about for you just as far
you're
as
end up cursing it either way. You're end up cursing it either way, dude. Either way.
Hey, I'm not saying anything. I'm just I'm throwing out a suggestion for you. If you wanted to play something, I'm not playing. I said Melissa Martinez.
Podcast play of the week is minus 110. It was the only line that we really looked up today. D Rose, what is it?
Charles Johnson, round 3 or decision.
3 or decision. There we go. Charles Johnson, 3 or decision, minus 110. D Rose gonna play it. D Rose gonna fuck it for us, but it's okay. We're all gonna lose. Not just you, not just me, not just you. You as well.
Charles Johnson's going to get the first round knockout, baby.
It's going to be D Rose's fault.
Charles Johnson, first round knockout. I can see it already.
See, who should Keller Phillips fight after? I don't know. That's there's too much going on at the top of bantamweight right now. I think I don't know. I would have to sit down and look at it. Who are you guys picking? Pena versus Harrison when that happens. I will personally be picking Pena. I'm not impressed by Kayla Harrison, to be honest. How about you, D-Rose?
I'd go Kayla Harrison just because I think that I don't think Pena is gonna be able to stop the takedowns. But I am with you, and we both have said it. When Kayla Harrison fought last, that we would definitely both favor Norma Dumont over her for sure right now. And I honestly, you can kind of make the argument Norma might be the uncrowned champ right now.
Yeah, I agree. So with that being said, I hate Brock Jr. with that being said, do you think Pena can take Kayla? I think she can. D-Rose says no. Hate.
I mean, can she take her down? Sure, but I mean, will she hold her down? And does she get swept by Harrison once the fight hits the ground? I don't know if that's the best course of action for Pena. Pena wants to keep it on the feet and throw that dangerous snapping jab, and then just throw them nasty combos and getting somebody out of there.
Yeah, man. All right. With that being said, that's going to be it for today's show. We appreciate you guys stopping by, hanging out with us here tonight. Probably be opening up this Tops Knockout box sometime, whether it's probably tomorrow. You guys should see a video up tomorrow, Tops Knockout. But I'll be here live Friday for Change the Cheddar, giving you my last-minute bets and picks. We haven't been doing good, so maybe you guys should watch it just to fade me and pick the opposite for the most part. But with that being said, we appreciate you guys stopping by here, hanging out with us here tonight. If y'all haven't already, please hit that thumbs up button on the video for your boys. And if you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. But that's going to be all from us here tonight on the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast number 134. I'll catch you guys Friday for Change of Cheddar. D-Rose, anything before we get off here, man?
No, man. Just glad to see Dover State acknowledge the technique here, and good luck this weekend on the fights.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. With that being said, we appreciate all y'all for stopping by here, hanging out with us here tonight. I will catch you guys Friday for Change Cheddar. Peace.